So tell us your name.
My name is Brett Haley.
Brett Haley.
Yes.
Talk to me about being nervous.
Being nervous.
Yeah, we got cameras here, we got people listening. Talk to me about being nervous.
Being nervous, like right now, it's a new experience to me, being in front of a camera and giving my testimonial to what GOGI is. And because it's new, there's a little bit of guessing going on in my head, kind of like, when I'm asking myself, what if I make the wrong decisions, or what if I say the wrong thing? So
Right.
there's a little bit of nervousness on that.
So how do the tools help when somebody's nervous? How could, somebody goes in front of the board, or somebody's getting a visit from somebody they haven't seen in a long time. So there's a lot of instances in life when we're nervous.
Yes.
How do the tools help?
I really look at tools like belly breathing.
Okay.
When we're able to get oxygen into our body. We
Okay.
teach to try to get the oxygen into our feet so that it's completely through the body. And just having that oxygen going through your body allows you to relax more, and then you don't focus on making mistakes. You can really focus on what you're trying to get across.
Does that help for the board? Does it help for visits? And does it, in this case, does it help with the camera?
I believe it does. I believe it does. A lot of the things that incarcerated individuals get in their mind, and they try to portray themselves, or even myself. Sometimes in the past, I've tried to portray myself as either more mature or more prepared and stuff like that.
Right.
And inside, I've just been, a mess. So I'm trying to put on the face and stuff like that. And then when I reflect on tools that I've learned, like belly breathing, I'm able to actually sit down and just enjoy it and go with the moment.
So would you say that belly breathing is one of your favorite tools?
I like all the tools, to be
Do you?
honest with you. Belly breathing is a very good tool for me.
Right.
I do a lot of facilitating, what have you, and
Yes,
it really helps me a lot when I get up there. If I might walk up there nervous, and then when I get up there, I just try to make light of it.
Yeah.
So belly breathing does help me out on that a lot.
Do you see the tools being applied with the population here, with the men here at this prison? Can you tell somebody who's utilizing tools and maybe some that aren't? Is there a difference?
Definitely.
Really?
Yeah, I get a lot of guys come up to me every day, and sometimes
Every day?
Yeah, sometimes whether I'm at work or whether I'm in school or something like that, they'll always want to talk about a tool or whatever. And then I'll see I kind of figure myself as a student of life. So
Okay.
I watch a lot of what's going on around me, and I try to socialize myself that way, but also I see other guys that are on the line and just the relationships they're having. I see a difference in the individuals that they were, say, a year ago, and the communication they were having then. And now they're more communicating with each other and having a relationship instead of just a one-on-one conversation, or a two-on-one conversation, however you want to say it.
Bunch of talking heads and no one's listening.
Yeah, nobody's listening. Nothing's getting across, but I
see.
do notice that there's more of a relationship being built, and that's helping the culture of this institution grow by GOGI, by the tools of GOGI. That's great.
So tell me, are you a different man than you were, say, 5 or 10 years ago?
Oh, I have witnesses to that.
Really?
I have witnesses to that. Yes, I'm definitely a different
How would
man.
you have described yourself even just 10 years ago? What kind of guy were you then?
10 years ago, I was a very selfish individual. I was very selfish. I grew up in a single-parent family. I had experienced a lot of abuse, a lot of neglect, and stuff like that. So I had no teachings.
I see.
The teachings I did have were all violence. So I had made for myself relationships that were based on a bunch of bad lessons. Using the GOGI tools, I get to claim responsibility for accepting those lessons in my life, and being able to detach myself from those allows me to be more natural in my relationships.
Which is really odd, because you're actually teaching people how to have good relationships with these tools.
Definitely.
So that's a very big transformation that has occurred.
Yes.
Does it feel different?
It feels liberating.
Really? What do you mean?
It feels liberating.
Really?
I heard you yourself explain how you have this this immense ultimate freedom in your life.
Right.
And that's what I feel now.
Really?
As opposed to 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, where I was still, trying to find my way through it. And then when I got the GOGI tools, it all opened up for me. And now I just feel so liberated that I'm not attached to those bad lessons that I had in the past. It's fantastic.
What would you say to somebody who's maybe sitting in their cell, they turn on the TV and they see you up on the screen talking? What would you want them to think about or consider or do?
Hopefully they're in their cell reading GOGI.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
That'd be nice.
That'd be very nice.
Really, when I speak to a lot of guys, I ask them to consider what their actions are going to do for their life. Always make a positive choice in whatever they're deciding to do. So if they're sitting in their house and they got all this time on their hand, maybe they can open a book, maybe they can get into some education, what have you.
Right.
And that's a lot of what we talk about when they approach me on the line. If we're always talking about positive choices, and I'm always trying to, just give them options. Instead of negative options, choose a positive option. Go back to school, get something positive for your life, because the more you do that, the more you're going to get out of it.
You've come a long way since you first entered places like this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you're going to be the strong marketing executive as you leave this place too, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I have some plans.
Yes, I do. I believe you do. Last words you'd like to say?
GOGI for life.
Yes, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you're a wonderful, valued member of our GOGI team.
Thank you.
And you're very appreciated.
Thank you. My name is Brett Haley, and I am a face of GOGI.
Hi.
Hi.
Tell us your name.
My name is Malcolm Coleman.
Malcolm Coleman. And why are you seated in that chair right now?
Well, I want to represent GOGI to the best of my ability.
Okay, and what does that mean to you?
That means teaching people how to make positive decisions in their lives as I've learned.
And how did you learn that? Who taught you? How did this whole thing happen for you?
Well, I was in my building, I looked up on the bulletin board, and there was this sign up there that said, "Getting out by going in." And
What did you think about when you read that name, Getting Out by Going In? What did you think?
Well, I thought these were lawyers coming in to help people learn how, or teach people how to get out of prison.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
A team of lawyers that would come in and work with you to get you out of prison.
Yeah.
Well, we're not a team of lawyers.
Well, to my surprise, you were better than a team of lawyers. You taught me how to get out of the prison that I had my own self in within my mind.
Tell me more about that. What does that mean for you? How does that?
Well, that meant for me to understand that the choices and decisions I had been making throughout my past were not who I was. And I wanted to be the best person that I could be for myself.
So let me get this right. The decisions that you were making, you knew, some part of you knew that wasn't the best you could do.
Right, right.
But did you not know how to make the good decisions? Why would you make bad decisions? Or why would you make decisions that were less than your best?
For the first part of my adult life, I was hooked on drugs, doing the wrong things, being involved with people that were not good for me. And I allowed people to make choices and decisions for me. And I just followed along. However, when I came to GOGI and learned the tool of claim responsibility, I learned that by doing and claiming responsibility for my actions, that I didn't have to allow someone else to dictate my program, so to speak.
And now, the last time I was here on a time when you guys did groups, you're sitting with groups and you're actually teaching.
Correct. We get together every Friday night in the gym here, and we have a group of guys, 10 to 12 guys come and sit in our groups, and we provide them with the 12 tools of GOGI. We show them what the tools are and allow them to come to the choice on how they would like to implement them into their lives.
What does that feel like for you to actually be teaching other men about these tools? What does that mean to you? What does that do? You're smiling.
Well, actually, I'd like to share a little story, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
There was a gentleman that was part of one of the groups that I helped facilitate in.
Right.
He walked up to me on the main yard one day and he says, "Hey, Malcolm, guess what?" And I'm like, "What's going on?" He says, "I went to the board the other day and the board started questioning me about GOGI. And I just went and told them everything I knew about GOGI and they gave me a date."
Wow.
I was so exhilarated inside for this guy. So to me, that shared that ultimate freedom that he was now experiencing.
Do you think he actually got the date because he
He's
has
home.
these tools that he
Well,
can use?
he said that when he went in there, the board looked in the C file,
Right.
saw that he had
What
taken.
is a C file?
Well, it's what the administration uses to keep track of our behaviors,
Oh, I
whether
see.
or not we get in trouble,
Okay.
keep track of our chronos, and what we do while in prison.
Okay, so they looked inside his file and they saw this GOGI thing,
They saw the GOGI chrono that he had received from attending the group,
a
and
group
they
that you led.
right, and they questioned him about what he had learned from that group, and he was able to articulate how the tools applied to him.
Wow.
And so, he's home now.
That must be a huge sense of satisfaction that you played a part in that man being able to be home.
Yes, it was. So,
And that's one out of, you have a group of 10, you said?
well, one out of a group of 10 to 12 people.
And then
12.
you run these groups like often, don't you?
We go through a 12-week course
Okay.
here in the gym,
Okay,
and each week we teach a different tool.
okay,
We'll give the guys the first tool, which is bossing my brain.
okay.
The next week we'll do belly breathing. The next
Okay.
week 5-second light switch, and so on and so forth until we get through the 12 tools.
And then at the end, they get something that goes into their C file that
Yes.
says they've been part of GOGI.
They've taken a big part in GOGI, and they've learned how to utilize the tools to make better decisions and positive choices within their lives.
What a wonderful way to give back to community.
Oh, it's a feeling that you have to experience for yourself.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure you know it because you taught it to me.
Well, and I'm happy that you're able to exponentially teach it to others.
Yeah.
That's what GOGI does.
Yeah.
That's what we're about. Okay, do you have any last things you'd like to say? Anything that you would want people to know about you or your journey or about your future?
I'd like people to know who I am as a person, that I've grown from the negative side of life to the positive side of life. I make better choices for myself, for those around me,
Right.
and especially for my family.
Beautiful. So hopefully we'll be able to get your family to be doing GOGI.
Oh,
You
they've already
They do?
begun, yes. Yes. I write my daughter and grandchildren constantly telling them about the 12 tools of GOGI.
So you have a little GOGI grandchild.
Oh, yes.
I
Yes.
love that.
His name's Kenneth, by the way.
Well, you're going to have to send us pictures so we can post them up on the GOGI wall.
All right, will do.
Okay. Thank you, Malcolm.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
My name is Malcolm Coleman, and I am a face of GOGI.
We gotta claim responsibility for all that we do in this life. And once we understand this, then we'll gain that ultimate freedom. We gotta claim responsibility for all that we do in this life. And once we understand this, then we'll gain that ultimate freedom. Yeah, okay. Motivated by GOGI, getting out by going in. On the boss of my brain, yeah, on the boss of my brain. Better breathe and meditate, elevate yourself. Everything that you do, gotta elevate yourself. 5-second light switch, old thought, new action. Through GOGI Life, we can make it all happen. What if you make it all the way to the top? And what if your future holds everything that you want? Through positive thoughts, we can manifest it all. Let go, but don't give up. We're just out for bad thoughts. And know that positive words lead to all positive actions. Reality check. We all young bosses, and we will not stop until we unhook from our past. Until the people understand that we are all great, and we all living better through GOGI Life. We gotta claim responsibility for all that we do in this life. And once we understand this, then we'll gain that ultimate freedom.